Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Chrisella, this is my oldest cat Sabrina, and today's video, as the title suggests, shall be a recap of all the important events that took place in my life during the year of 2022. Consider this a diary entry, a grateful journal entry, something for me to remember of all the memorabilia this year held for me and how it changed me as a person, because I want to be able to be fully aware and notice that after a few years when I look back at this video. So Sabrina is here with us for two reasons. First of all, this is around the time my cats take their afternoon siesta, that is to say, nap. But Sabrina requires some extra care, monitoring, and attention today because during the past 24 hours she has vomited twice, which leads me to believe that she's not feeling particularly well. So please send her your good healing vibes, and I'm sure she will multiply them by the lot. She's a very nice cat, although shy and timid, and I'm sorry if she shows you her bad. She's not planning to flash you. But yes, let's say hello. Say hello to people. Hi. Hi. Yes, okay. Okay, I'll let you rest now. So yeah, this is Sabrina, and she will be helping us with the story today because we will be talking about a story, basically. My other cat, Artemis, is sleeping over there. I don't think she will be joining today's video, although we will be talking about her, but she will most likely join in another one. Before we begin, I would first and foremost would like to apologize for being inconsistent when I promised to do otherwise with uploading my YouTube videos, but I actually was not planning on getting sick, and I do have an issue with my tonsils and my throat every time I get sick. It is a problem I plan on resolving as soon as the year begins and everything opens again. I will go to the doctor and have it all checked out, but every single time I tried filming a video, it would be a nightmare to edit because I had to edit out myself coughing every couple of minutes of talking non-stop. And mind you, that was not a storytime video as it is today, that I will be talking non-stop. It was like a Resident Evil video. So anyway, we've stayed a bit behind with that, but I have promised myself that I will finish Resident Evil 3 by the time Resident Evil 4, the remake, comes out, because I do want to be one of the first to play and upload this game. I am very excited about it. So I hope that by the end of the March, I believe it comes out on the 23rd, I will have finished everything. So if you do go ahead and enjoy today's video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Do ring the notification bell because I don't have a stable upload schedule. So if you want to be notified every time I upload a brand new video, you need to go ahead and do that. If you do want to say hello, if you do want to share your most important events of 2022, by all means do comment them down below. I always respond to my comments. It makes me feel like I'm not talking to a lifeless camera, but to a person, like I'm having a discussion with a friend. So this is gonna help a lot. And yeah, I hope I will be able to keep you some company. I plan on uploading this video tomorrow, which is the 1st of January. I want to start like the year with a very positive note and end this one with a very positive note as well. And I hope I will be able to do that with this video, starting off January of 2022. Most people experience a certain existential crisis during January, regardless of the year. During December, we give so much of ourselves away to other people, and this people pleasing obviously makes us rethink things, overwhelms us, drains us, and when we start the year, it usually doesn't start with a bang because we have to like configure and rethink certain aspects of our life and of course ourselves. So that leads to an obvious existential crisis, which is all I remember from my best friend and current roommate at the time. She was just sitting on this sofa that I'm currently sitting at, having philosophies about the purpose of life and where we're going, where we're heading. And I did feel a similar way, but I was mainly preoccupied with my spiritual awakening at the time. I was like experiencing some interesting dreams that had some like very wise messages in them, and I was watching some weird numbers on the clock, and I had grown a certain interest in tarot cards, energy crystals, manifestation, meditation, all that jazz, all the spiritual things basically. And I was mainly just focusing on that. But at the end of the month, we had a very, very positive event happening because we found my calico cat, Artemis. My friend and I had visited a convenience store, and on our way back, we passed through a square that was next to a cemetery. It was very dark because it was winter at the time, although it wasn't too late, and we noticed a cat that was very, very cute, soft, timid. She was black and gray. She was the kindest cat, and she was so friendly with us. I think she needed food, and we didn't have any with us at the time, but we immediately planned on the spot to go back there the next day with food and water and make sure to find her babies, because we actually were considering and discussing at the time the possibility of getting a second cat, not only to keep company to my first cat, but also because my friend would move away in the end of the year. That was her plan at the time, and she wanted to take the cat with her. So we thought of raising them together, having the expenses together, and then she would move away and we would figure things out this way. But we couldn't take that one because as soon as we raised her up, it became abundantly clear that she had given birth very recently. And her babies were just not there with her. I suppose she was searching for food to get back to them. Actually, I think we did give her some food because we had purchased some food before we went to the convenience store, but I'm not sure about that. If you're watching this, my best friend, please comment down below to remind me. In any case, we went there the next day to find the cat and her babies, and she was nowhere to be found. We actually searched around the blocks and we couldn't find anything, but we did notice a colony of cats close to the cemetery that very willingly came out as soon as they saw us having some food for them. So yeah, all the cats of course were very cute, but we quickly noticed a cat hiding very timidly behind a trash can, as if she was a bit too bullied to approach the bigger and more demanding cats. And we actually did notice that there was a certain orange cat that looked like the leader of the pack, and my calico cat just was not going to risk going towards the food if there was going to be a fight and intimidation. And we obviously took pity on her because she looked very malnourished, unlike the other cats. She also had like her left eye was very swollen and icy blue, which of course means that it wasn't even operating as an eye. She couldn't see from that at all. Her other eye was fine, of course. It was a yellow with a little bit of green, and I'm sure she was watching fine from that one, but she looked so weak and so thin, and we decided to take her on the spot. I'm not this type of person. I'm an overthinker. I need to weigh in my options very carefully, and although we were considering it at the time, we hadn't taken a definite decision. And the next day we went there with my sister and my best friend together, and before I even had the chance to react, they started putting her in a reusable plastic bag so that we could get her to the vet. And Artemis, which is my calico cat, was so thankful for that. She didn't reject this at all. My sister actually got her to the vet. My best friend, I think, went to pick up some other things, and I went to do something else. And this is how we split our errands this day to get everything done. At night, when we brought her back here, my tabby tiger cat, Sabrina, she was terrified of what she was smelling. She was only 3 months old when I first got her and brought her here. She was abandoned by her mother, so she didn't have any time to socialize with any other cat, to be honest. And I do understand why she was terrified. She refused to eat. She refused to get out of the bathroom or the bedroom. She was hiding. And although we did keep the calico cat at times inside a small cage, it wasn't enough for my Sabrina to feel, better about this new animal that we brought home. And she actually did feel very betrayed. But sooner than later, after a few days, they did become great friends. We took care of Artemis really well. We washed her, we got her to the vet. She had 2 surgeries in total, that is to say neutering, and after multiple months she also removed that eye because it did get infected and it bothered her a lot, and she stopped eating, so it had to be removed. And I'm sure she's very grateful. She's a bit more wild of a cat than Sabrina because she's very spoiled, and it's okay. I'm just so glad we have her here with us today. She's sleeping over there right now. She's peaceful. She's grateful, and I can tell. And to be honest with you, saving my 2 animals, because I know that they would eventually die on the streets, especially Sabrina, but also Artemis, was pretty much the most useful thing I've ever done in my life. And just this is enough to satisfy myself. Like I feel like I am the reason someone exists. I know that this may sound egotistical and self-centered, but I mean this in the kindest way possible. I feel like I matter because I saved someone's life, and that is a wonderful, beautiful feeling to have. So honestly speaking, whenever you can help someone, or even more so a helpless animal, do so. It will mean the world for the other person or that animal, trust me. Moving on to February. In the beginning of February, I do remember going to a restaurant with my boyfriend at the time. And by the way, I will refer to my boyfriend as Song. I will show him in another video potentially, but today we will be talking about him, so I will mention him with his name. And Song and I were in that restaurant, and he hinted on a certain surprise he had for me for Valentine's Day. I was super excited, but to be honest, quite stupid about it, because I thought that he had purchased a headset for me. I had destroyed my headset by accident. It got fried while it was charging because there was a problem with electricity at the time, and it was such a great headset. He had given me this headset, and I was begging him for another one as a Valentine's Day gift for like the past month. And I thought it would be that, but my best friend and roommate actually pointed out that he may be planning a proposal. And I wasn't sure about that, but going into our Valentine's Day date, I remember I was super excited. I couldn't wait to see what the surprise was. And we had an amazing date. We went to a Mexican restaurant and he brought me flowers, and while we were at the square, he proposed, and I felt so happy. I was certain, absolutely certain, for like a few months before that I wanted to get married to Song, and I'm still very happy about that. Very, I don't know how to say it, overwhelmed with joy when I think that I was lucky enough to find such a person to spend the rest of my life with. And that was the most important thing happening within February. I was very happy. Moving into March. In March, we all, that is to say me, Song, my best friend, and I will refer to her as Seva, by the way, and my sister, we went to a place called Meteora in Greece. You may know that if you are from another country, because it's very famous. And we took like a getaway weekend kind of trip with an agency, a tour agency, and we had the most amazing time. We saw such beautiful sceneries, like very otherworldly environments. It was snowing, it was just beautiful, and we had a wonderful time. But at the end of the first day of the weekend, that is to say Saturday, my boyfriend Song got sick. We didn't know if it was COVID, but we assumed that he may have gotten sick from the cold. But seeing as soon as we returned home, I also got sick, and then a couple of days later, Seba got sick. We noticed that it was a bit too easy to get sick, and Seva is not the type of person that gets sick easily, so we took a test and we saw that we all had COVID, which wasn't that surprising, to be honest, considering the fact that the van we were traveling with was very tiny and closed, and we weren't exactly keeping any separation and empty space between other people because we're all cramped in a tiny space. So yeah, we got COVID. We got it pretty bad. I also remember watching Euphoria at the time, such a depressing ass show for when you're already mentally not well due to COVID. Bad decision. And yeah, March was both good and bad due to this trip. Going towards April, I don't remember anything specific. In April, we had Easter, of course, but I don't remember many things happening around that time. So I'm led to believe that it wasn't a particularly interesting time. In May, things started going downhill. I don't mean to sound toxic, but a few toxic things did happen, and they did mess up the course of events as it was set up and my plans. And I also became very quickly financially strained because I was running out of my savings. The last time that I had officially had a job was at the beginning of November of 2021. So I was spending my money a bit faster than I thought while I was working at that job, and also after I quit. And it's not that I regret that I quit it, it's just that I had no motivation to find another job, but I had to because I was running out of money. And I was eyeing a certain job position at the amusement park close to my house. This is the biggest amusement park in Greece. I'm not gonna name it because I'm gonna diss it pretty harshly in a bit, and I don't want to have like any cease and desist, sent towards me. You never know, because these people are a bit obsessed with those things, so I'm not gonna risk it. And yeah, so I decided that I would go ahead and ask them if they have any empty positions for me. And I did, because due to unfortunate circumstances, my roommate and best friend had to move out. And she returned back to the island she comes from, and I stayed here. I was, of course, I asked my boyfriend to move in with me because I just can't sleep alone. I'm very scared at night, so it was impossible for me. But my boyfriend was also facing financial difficulties at the time, and you can tell where I'm going with this. That summer was so stressful when it comes to finances. It just did not pass the vibe check. Really easily the worst period of the entire year. And although there were a few positive things that happened, of course, that's always the case, I do believe that it was the hardest position I've ever been with financially. There was a certain point in August that I was literally left with €1 in my bank account. So I got that job in the beginning of June. And from the very first day that I started working there, the other people that were working there for quite some time approached me and very quickly told me, hey, do you know that they don't pay on time? And like, I had 5 people tell me the exact same thing, and I decided to very calmly and maturely address this issue with the management. And I specifically remember the management lady, who was entirely rude and unprofessional, not to me, but to others. She said that a lot of bullshit, to quote her, are being said here, and some people need to return back to their places. This sounded like such an open thread. Like, it was so cringy. And I decided to give them the benefit of the doubt. I decided to work there for the first month because it's not like I had a better choice. No one else was calling me other than them. And I really wanted to work there because I thought that it would be creative. Needless to say, it's not creative at all. I don't know why I was under that impression. And everybody was right. As soon as June finished, I didn't get paid. They said that they would give the payments at the 10th of the next month. The 10th passed, the 15th passed, the 20th passed, no money. Mind you, I had bills to pay, I had supermarket, I needed to survive, and I changed my position very quickly. I became like, at first I was at the games, but then I realized that I couldn't stand up for so many hours for so long. Also, guess what? It's illegal, but nobody cares in Greece because it there are no labor laws really existing to protect the people working. And I changed to a cashier because I could be in a place where I would be sitting and I would have my air condition and it would be great. Mind you, easiest job I've ever done. Regardless of the fact that like I had a lot of currents and I was speaking, so my throat hurt a little bit. It was kind of tiring and it was stressing me out when there were lots of like big rows ahead of me. But other than that, easiest job I've ever done. However, I did end up quitting this job after 3 months and very few working hours because I was working only in the weekend. I initially wanted to work at this amusement park for like indefinitely. I didn't plan on leaving. I liked that job. I knew it, but they were not paying, especially in August when it was the time that I was left with €1 and my husband was struggling so hard as well. I can't believe that I was working and I was putting into the cashier's desk thousands every day, especially in the weekends, and they had the audacity to not pay me. Obviously, I had to talk. So going into August, I had enough. On the 15th of August that I was actually working on, I went there and had a fight with the manager. I outright told them that professionalism is a two-way street and I'm not gonna come here because you demand me to be here on time, and I am every time. But that day I was coming back from a very far place and I was a bit late and he snapped at me, so I snapped back and I started fighting with him and I told him all the problems that I had with the job, and he told me to take this with the upper leaders, not him. And I was like, it's everybody's problem because everybody here refuses to talk. It was such a cringy situation. I had enough and I actually did give a second chance for like a week. I noticed that things didn't go as planned. They manipulated me into thinking that they would change, but they didn't. And I told them, you know what, I quit. And if my money is not into my account at this date, I will report you because I don't give a shit. And this is when I quit after just 3 months. This ruined my plans so much. To this day, I'm very bitter about this. I know that you can tell from how toxic this situation was for me, but I just wanted to get it out of the way to proceed on a more positive note. In the beginning of August, my fiance's permit to live in Greece was expiring. And since we were planning a wedding, we decided to go ahead and do a small circle civil marriage at the municipality, but there were no dates available and we did have a huge issue with his documentation. We spent the entirety of July just leaving the house at like 8 a.m. Actually, this is why I didn't work a lot during July, because I was so busy trying to finish with the documentation. Nobody wanted to help us. Like, it was ridiculous. My husband is Chinese and even his embassy refused to provide us with the necessary documents until we became current about it. And it was a bit ridiculous. But we did get lucky. There was a kind lady in the municipality that understood the situation. And since we did manage to get all of our documents on time, we did get married in my municipality on the 28th of July. We had only 2 people present, the people that needed to sign that they were the viewers of the marriage. I don't know how to say it in English, I'm sorry. And we also had like a wonderful photo shoot that day. And I will be placing, by the way, pictures throughout the video so that you can see what happened. And I'm very happy that I got married, but really the situation was not ideal for either of us. I'm sure that if we had the chance to plan this accordingly and invite some people, or if we actually did get some more time to prepare so that we have more money and we didn't feel so stressed on other aspects of our life, we would enjoy it much more than we actually did. But I am not saying this to point out that I'm not happy that I got married. I'm sure my husband shares the exact same opinion as me. The situation was just not ideal and I wish it wasn't. But I mean to say that this was the most positive event that happened throughout the summer, considering the fact that it didn't pass the vibe check. And yeah, we're married now since we got married in July, and I'm very happy. We're living together. It's very nice. And let's proceed to September. In September, I was officially out of a job. I searched and searched and searched, and nobody was calling me back, which is a bit ridiculous because I do have a few qualifications, although not a big job experience, but in Greece they do have a lot of expectations considering that they pay shit. So I didn't manage to find a job during that time. It stressed me out more and more and more until my best friend Seva, who was thriving with her online Etsy store. She's doing tarot readings there, and she would go on vacation, and she wanted someone to cover it. And at the time, I had learned a little bit of the tarot cards, and I was ready to take on that. It did provide me with a certain financial stability. I didn't have any savings left, and now I would finally be able to just relax a little bit and not feel like I would run out of money the right next moment. And I did. I thank her so very much for that. I'm very grateful for the money that I made during November, and it did allow me to purchase new clothes. By the way, this is also new, and I did some things for myself. I got my hair done. I did some nice things, and I still have some money left over to take care of some things, but I want to promise myself that I will try to do something like an online business for myself during 2023, because there's nothing that terrifies me more than the possibility of going out there to search for a job again, to have to hear them, why did you leave? Like, as if I have no rights to leave a job, as if we don't all know that the jobs in Greece are toxic as hell. And I don't want to experience that. It terrifies me. It makes me depressed just thinking about it. And it is a driving and motivational force for me to actually try and do something about it. So I really do hope I will manage to do that. Today is New Year's Eve. We won't be doing anything special with my husband, but I have prepared a card for him, and he did help me by purchasing a couple of gifts for me this Christmas, so I'm very happy about that. I did spend a very beautiful Christmas Eve with my husband's family because we watched a movie, and it was we ate some great food. It was great, and we will be spending the day with them tomorrow as well. But I hope that you all spent your holidays nicely as well. If you didn't feel particularly great emotionally, don't worry about it. This year may have been hard on you, and you do deserve some rest. Just give yourself a little bit of relaxing time if possible before you take care of others, because you can't give from an empty cup. That's what I've learned. I hope that 2023 I won't experience the same amount of hardships at the very least, or if I do, I hope that they don't touch me as much as this ones did. And I certainly do hope that the next summer will be, I'm not gonna lie to you, I really, really do hope that the next summer will be amazing. I want to go on vacation, unlike this summer that I didn't have money to go anywhere. I want to travel. I want to relax on the beach. I want to spend some excellent times with my husband, and I hope we both get this chance. But as of now, I am planning with my best friend an amazing, very exciting trip to Romania. I have high expectations for 2023. Please make this happen. And I hope you have an amazing 2023 as well. I hope all your dreams will come true. And I wish you all the best. If you do come across this video, good luck to you. Thank you so much for tuning in today, for watching this video, especially if you saw it to the end. I highly, truly appreciate it, and let me know if you have any suggestions or comment any feedback you may want me to hear down below. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you have an amazing New Year's Eve wherever you guys are. Happy New Year. Bye!